we have a lot to talk about. I'm going to do my best to keep it concise and kind of create a discussion, so I want you all to comment, let me know your thoughts, tweet at me, whatever, do all of that, but let's get right into the action. What is going on, everybody? Yes, I am wearing a hat because I need a haircut and my hair looks horrible. But moving on from that, Parler in the past, I'm quickly gonna have to butt in here and just warn all the viewers that the editing on this video is a bit messed up because of team changes and the things that happened on Twitter whilst I was editing this video, and also just adding in a little bit of extra detail at points that needed it. Apologies, but I think it makes the video better. Today and yesterday and like the past couple of days, there has been a huge shake-up in the Call of Duty competitive scene. And what has that shake-up been? Some very interesting roster changes. And so basically I'm going to give you a little roundup of what's happened and a summary of each of the things, some details, and then a bit of my opinion on, the things that have happened. We have 4 things to talk about today. Oh yeah, and there's also a rumour that Parasite might be joining OpTic. You know, I can't confirm that. Yep, looks like Chris has joined OpTic. Yeah, well, I guess that's reporting on the go for you. It's happened as I'm editing this video. Yeah, so that's the 5th thing, I guess. And those 4 things are, number 1, MadCat leaves Epsilon and joins TCM. That's more of like an EU competitive story. Number 2 is Rambo, who is a player for Envious, is now a former player for Envious and has become the coach of the team. Number 3 is that Clayster has left TK and joined OpTic. And then number 4 is the departure of Scumpii, who has now joined Envious, replacing Rambo. Let's start off with number 1. That's kind of like 2 fingers. So, as you all will have known by now, Dylan MadCat has left Epsilon Gaming to join TCM. Dylan is known as an extremely driven and competitive gamer and is just focused on winning and wanting to be the best in the game. Epsilon had an extremely good run in Black Ops 2 and their Ghost performances have been pretty good. However, they haven't had the very top level finishes in Ghost that the team could do and kind of technically should be doing. So I imagine for a player like Dylan that was a bit frustrating, and he wants to get those championships, and he was in contact with TCM, and TCM offered him a spot on the squad, and yeah, he joined them. He replaced Ryan, also known as Flux, a brilliant player, but he has education commitments and thus wasn't really gelling, fitting in with the team, or that's what we've been told. I'm very interested to get all of you EU guys' opinions on this event in particular. Both Epsilon and TCM are extremely successful organisations. However, there has been some talk on Twitter how it might have been a bad move because Epsilon were a good team, Jerd and Swanee. They also have great sponsorships and in general are a very steady organisation. TCM, of course, are exactly the same, one of the best teams in the world, easily one of the best in Europe, great players, etc. However, was it worth MadCat leaving Epsilon where he had some great chemistry to join TCM? Is it a bit of a risk? What do you guys think? And now the second thing, Rambo becoming the coach of Envy, leaving his position as a player on the team. This is very interesting because it's happening like a week later after Big T has announced his retirement from competitive Call of Duty as a player. And that's interesting because Rambo is seen as one of the, veterans of the game. He's been in competitive Call of Duty for an extremely long amount of time and is seen as one of the most intelligent players and one of the most seasoned veterans of the scene. Maybe it is getting to that point for a lot of players who've been in the scene for so long where they don't feel like they've got anything left to gain from the scene and they want to do something different. I don't know many of the other details for why he's departing from his position as a player, and that's only me going by logic and guessing. So, I'd be interested to get you guys' opinions on that. Why do you think Rambo's leaving? What's the idea behind that? Some might say that it's because Envy aren't placing as high as they could because they are individually brilliantly skilled and they work well as a team, but sometimes they just get to those final matches in their brackets and they don't really perform as they should. I don't know, I'm not going to say there's one particular reason for it, but yeah, Rambo has left as a player and is now the coach of Envy. Number 3 is Clayster moving to OpTic. So, obviously with the retirement of Big T, OpTic was looking for a player. At At that time, it was Nadeshot, Ricky, and Scump. And at that time, Clayster was part of TK. You'll have to excuse me because I'm not sure what happened first. Either number 3, which I'm talking about right now, or number 4, which I don't want to spoil, but you will know what I'm talking about. So yeah, excuse me if my tenses are a bit mixed up, and I apologise for that. But anyway, getting right back into it, OpTic needed another player. Clayster had just been dropped from Complexity, joined TK and got 2nd place at UMG Philly. At some point there had been some coordination between OpTic and Clayster was offered a position on the squad and is now part of OpTic Gaming. Why do you guys think Clayster has joined OpTic? For me personally, one of the main reasons, of course, is because OpTic is a hugely successful brand, and for any player it's, you know, hard to argue against that as a positive, intelligent career move. Also, prior to Clayster joining Complexity, the team wasn't achieving the very highest of heights which they're doing at the moment. Maybe Clayster wants to have that same effect on another team and kind of like bring them up, be a game changer for them just like he was for Complexity. Again, and that's not me just asserting that Complexity only did well because of Clayster, obviously that's not true. Mr. X coming in as coach was a huge important part of that, and of course the other 3 players, Aches, TP and Crim6 are brilliant players within themselves. However, I think it would be quite difficult to argue that Clayster joining wasn't a catalyst in the success which Complexity had and is continuing to have. So yeah, Clayster has left TK and TK are now looking for one. And that's about it. He's joined OpTic and we'll just have to see what happens from here. And now number 4, the final thing, the thing that you've all been waiting for, the guy who has a huge amount of fans and the big news story that everyone is interested in. Scumpii has left OpTic Gaming. Yes, that's right, OpTic Scumpii is no longer OpTic Scumpii. Twitter today has been absolutely rife with rumours and just back and forth between people until eventually he officially announced it today, and there were tweets exchanged between a bunch of people, some not so nice, some a little less nice, not so many nice tweets from anyone at all actually, and yeah, it was confirmed, Scumpii has left the OpTic house, he's back home, he's left, he's done with the team. He's already explained his reasons for leaving the house, the video is on his channel, I'll probably put a link to it in the description below if you want to check it out. However, I will quickly summarise why he left the team. To put a long story short, apparently Scumpii just wasn't happy in the house. Again, much like players like MadCat, like Clayster, like Karma, who's joined Complexity, Scumpii is known as a person who just wants to win. He's in this for the winning, he's a competitive person, he's played competitive sports, he talked about that in his videos. Ultra competitive guy, he's bored of losing and he wants to win. That, I would argue, is definitely a factor. Something else that he mentioned is that he stopped getting along with some of the people in the team and possibly some of the management as well. I might be quoting that slightly incorrectly, so again, go and check his own version of things. I'm just trying to kind of regurgitate that now for all of you to listen to. I do want to stress it's probably best for all of you to try and find the facts for yourselves. Don't take my word for everything, it's just my opinion and the way that I view things and trying to collate all of that as best I can. And so yeah, apparently he just wasn't comfortable on the team anymore. He wants to be a part of a team that's winning championships. His version of the story says that OpTic was kind of being run by a couple of people without the best interest of winning championships at heart. And yeah, as a winner, as somebody who kind of just is in this for the competitiveness of it, that's not going to cut it for him. Quick little interjection here on myself. Sorry, past self, but you missed out that Scumpii actually offered Hex if he could run another team with him being captain under the OpTic banner, and Hex refused. Just throwing that in there, important little side note that you guys should probably know. Why do you guys think that Scumpii left OpTic? It's probably also worth keeping in mind that Scumpii is now such a popular brand within himself and such a popular player that he can leave a huge brand like OpTic and still survive, still have a reputation, still have like chances for himself without being attached to that brand. And so it could be seen as a good business decision by him to kind of like create more opportunities for himself. I don't know, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Anyway, that's all for now. I hope that was concise and as objective as possible. And so just to round those 4 things up again, MadCat leaves Epsilon and goes to TCM, Rambo stops playing for Envy and becomes their coach, Clayster joins OpTic Gaming and leaves TK looking for one, Scumpii leaves OpTic Gaming and joins Envy, and OpTic are still looking for one. And Parasite joins OpTic. Yeah, don't forget that one. Thanks, Chris, for making this editing really awkward. Thanks. Just a quick side note, I know Dylan and Clayster personally, and yeah, I hope the decisions that you guys have made go well, and that is about it. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. Sharing always helps, I cannot stress that enough. If you share this video, people will see my content, they'll come to my channel, and I just need some exposure. That would help me out so much, so please do that if you can, it won't take you a second. And yeah, thank you for watching. I've been Parla, aka Mantruce. Peace.